Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, April the 28th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up, monthly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And just a reminder, I hope you used risk management this month and you never lost more in any one single trade than you were willing to lose. Looking at the month, we are 177 pips above the monthly open, now 178, 33 off the high, and 240 off the low. So as you can see here, we've got a muted month, very low range for the month of April. And we have, looks like, one gap that did not fill. And as we take a look here, we are above the way above the opening range for the year. We are above the opening range for the month by about 89 pips, and we are above the opening range for the week by 27 pips at the moment. So any of you that like to trade the opening range breakout, you were rewarded. In fact, each day you had a possibility to pick up pips on that. Taking a look at the year, 422 above the yearly open, 35 off the yearly high, which we put in this month, and 709 pips off the yearly low, which we put in last month. Inside bar, we had one yesterday. Right there, you could at the 24.99 level, and we broke that. We're up by 12 pips. Anybody taking that previous day highs breakout or breaking out of the previous day's upper wick zone, you can see here we crisscross the weekly inside bar high that happened 1 week ago. For the range, we had red news today, but we only have 73 pips on the pound. But you can see here, there's some other pairs. The pound yen, for some strange reason, 353 pips, and then the dollar yen, 309. So obviously, there's something going on with the yen. Swiss franc, 317. So anybody trading the yen pairs were definitely rewarded today. That's crazy. 309 pips. I guess that's where all the action was. And you can see here we crossed that daily open at 24.96 and we're now 15 pips above it. So wick zone traders, the shorts paid off, now the longs are paying off. And for you rats, red rats, get ready to feast. Green rats already had their feast here. They feasted. So it's looking like that upper rat zone is corresponding with that previous day's high at the 24.99 level. Pivot, Bambino Flex indicator said go long. Trading plan long near S1. You can see here that paid off a few times. We took out the daily pivot. We took out the weekly pivot, but we did not take out the monthly pivot here. So April, we have a missed pivot for the month. Once again, showing that break through the upper wick zone here. Notice we had a high that we've also, we're crisscrossing that high there. I like to call that the top scraping, coming down across that. I like to short these sometimes when I can see them here. especially if it's from a previous day or two. So right there at about the 14, 15 level, yeah, 15, taking that short. Taking a look at the weekly, the range. Last week's range, we were at the 0 percentile. This is at the 8 percentile. So these are probably two really muted weeks. So I would expect May to have an explosion. I really would. Let's see, where? I'm going to look for something. The pound usually forms a bottom in early to late March and then moves higher into the end of April. Well, let's go back and take a quick look here. March, we put in the yearly low, and then we're putting in the yearly high here in April. So it looks like the seasonality indicator proved out. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. But really, look at this. Over the past, 3, 4, 5, this week and the past 4 weeks, we haven't had range over 300. We only had one over 250. That's just muted trading. And we're down to 2509. So remember, I called out that top scrape. But I usually don't trade and make videos at the same time, but would have loved to have been in that trade. Okay, so monthly range, only 273. Nothing to write home about. Oh yeah, I was still thinking about putting some buttons on this indicator. Year-to-date accumulated. Let's see what we've got. We're up to 744 for the year. And the ATR for the month, 651. So as you can see, definitely muted. We're almost looking at last year's ATR as opposed to this year's. Close minus year-to-date open percent. So 3.48. And let's see. We've already seen that. But I think the thing to really look at is this range for the month. I think we just set a record here. Over the past 20 years, looking at 20 years worth of data, this is the lowest range for the month of April. Something to note. And back to trading here. 08. Once again, we crossed that 15 level, came to the downside. That would have been a nice trade. In fact, you could have picked up 5 pips once, picked up 5 pips a second time here. And now you'd be up even more. So looking at this chart, it looks like we need to get back down to about 24.95 here. Why do I say that? Because of this big candle here in the 1 minute. That wasn't a news candle. And in fact, there's another one way down here. This would probably take a couple of days. But who knows? It's the last day of the month. A lot of crazy things happen. So what they probably did here was they probably ran some stops on this side of the 2500, and here we're right back almost down to the 2500. Now I'm really kicking myself for not putting that short on even, because I would have loved to have put on a McGilla trade there. Okay, let's go out to the month. We're above the indicator 2. Previous bar was an outside bar. We took the break of the high there. Price is above the upper wick zone. And month's turning up. Buyers are in strong control. Moving down to the weekly. Buyers once again strong. That's monthly. Distance, we're above the EMA 5. Previous bar was inside bar. If you took that breakout, previous range exceeded 11.5. I would hope so. Wonder why I have that there. That's interesting. Buyer strong control, higher high, higher low there. Now maybe I should put the state change on this screen. Just thought of that. Coming down to the daily, we're above the EMA 5. Previous bar was inside bar, taking the break of that high. Price above the upper wick zone. Buyer strong control. Okay, I want to see here. Looking here at the higher high, higher low. See, price bounced off that 2503 level. Just about took out that return bar there. And that's an M5. This looks like a return bar here. That was don't know why price shot up like that. It just did. But remember, as traders, the why doesn't really matter. It's identifying what's happening, accurately identifying what's happening, and trading accordingly. The why doesn't matter. Knowing the why is not going to, that's all hindsight, really. And you see here, there's a big return bar. I believe that could have been news. Not sure. Nope, I don't think that was news. Unless that was some British news when I was asleep, wasn't aware of. But you can see here we took out that return bar. So we've got some return bars on M5 that need to be taken out. Looking at M30, we had news last hour. This was the push. Once again, breaking the previous day's high. Coming across the open. We're now 12 pips above the daily open, and looks like price is falling once again. See, on the states we had actually this is just outside bar, inside bar, outside bar. Now we've got higher bar, higher low, higher high. Looking at H4, you can see here we took the break of the previous H4, playing that wick zone. Another nice little trade there. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable day, week, and month, and I hope you have a profitable year for that matter. And it looks like spring is starting slightly late, but it's starting here, at least on the West Coast here. Having some warm days. I wish you all a fun and safe weekend. And when you come back to your trading platform, I want you to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.